Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Week 14, another Week 14 matchup. Sparkyz versus WeMade Fox. Sparkyz once again coming in that uncomfortable lead that they hate so much.
Let's see if they can do something about
Sparkyz up 1-0 against WeMade Fox after Yarnk put on a little bit of a ZVZ clinic, getting a little bit of a build order advantage, but taking full advantage of it. That's not like a decisive build order advantage.
Right.
It's not like
He
9 full
capitalized on
versus
it.
12 hatch. Yeah, for sure. And especially without lane control. Anyways, this is going to be another mirror matchup. This is going to be a Terran versus Terran. We're going to have Leta as the yellow Terran in the southeast corner, and Midas as the purple Terran in the southwest corner, and another rematch from earlier on in the season. Earlier on in the season, this was when Leta was still struggling and trying to get his feet under him for the new 9-10 Pro League season, and Midas was able to take out a win. Not too long after that, Leta has decided that he wins TVTs. You know what I mean? He is really on a roll. Any thoughts? No? Yeah, Leta dominating.
I mean, I hope we can see some solid play for him here. Yeah, if he's coming off no struggle, you know that. I'm kind of worried about that. I mean, I like to see players, you know, see some challenges in TVT. I mean, in whatever race they play as normally, you know, they can get complacent. So hopefully he can keep it up. Yeah, we'll see how this matchup goes. You know, both players have pretty strong records, especially versus opposing races. So, I mean, Leta has a very strong versus opposing race record, but Midas is no. You know, he's above 50%. He's 56%. So
yeah, Midas is a very solid player, and I'm really surprised actually that Midas hasn't gotten more playing time on WeMade Fox. He's a new recruit onto the WeMade Fox team. He came from SKT1 last season. Well, the past few seasons he's played for SKT1, and he's really just been sitting in a backseat for them for the most part. And but he is really solid, and you know, I think he probably could have been doing better than Mind has been doing so far, and Mind's been playing pretty well. I think I like Midas as a player better than Mind in general, and I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten a little bit more playing time so far. It looks like Midas has something funny going on. Maybe he's setting up for a natural expansion. Is that a proxy barracks? I can't tell what's going on. No, I'm just misreading that. That's just his barracks up near the choke point. So both players going for one barracks into one factory into I don't know what yet. But yeah, I mean, Leta has finally got himself comfortable and playing, and he's been doing really well, particularly on this map. I think his last 3 TVTs have been on this map, which he's won all of those. So Moon Glaive being a very familiar place, and this is here we come for Midas. We've got an early starport coming up. This is what Leta has been doing most of the time on this map, is going for wraiths. He is going for an early command center of his own, and he is not quite able to block off that SCV. So Midas going for early wraiths and being able to get a quick scout on Leta. So he's going to be able to see this early command center. He's got a vulture coming on the way to try to harass it. He's also going to have probably wraiths or maybe vulture drops, but he is looking to do some damage to Leta, who is going for an early command center in this game.
I'm sorry. I saw Leta skip into purple space.
Leta's purple. Right. Oh no, am I backwards? I'm totally backwards. Oh my god, I've been calling this all wrong. So Leta going for his wraiths like he's been doing.
Midas has actually not scouted at all. He has not left his base, and I think he's the one going for the early starport. He's taking sort of Leta's strategy here.
No, Leta in yellow, right? Yellow? Yes, yellow. Leta has his starport. I'm sorry, everybody. I just completely confused my colors. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Anyways, but his first wraith is out, going into a harass. He had sent a vulture to harass and stop that early command center from going down as well, so he has been able to delay the command center a little bit, and it saved him enough time to be able to start building his own command center. So he is looking to gain his natural expansion. Midas now has his up, but that first Wraith is in Midas's base and is going to be able to pick off at these SCVs. Already picking off at the one building the armory, trying to delay that armory, but nice repair job by Midas, so he's going to be able to keep that alive.
Hopefully he can attack the repair SCV? I don't know if he's...
Yeah, it might be more worthwhile. Ooh, and a nice little... Well, I don't know what the purpose of that play is. Maybe it's so that...
so he can attack the repair one?
So he can't repair the building one. The building one's going to be hidden under his barracks.
Yeah, so he gets to full life.
So
and then the guy's not going to repair.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So I think that's what it is. I don't know if it's really going to pay off for him, but once again, a similar situation. I think he's building an academy as well. And Leta trying to delay that with his Wraith, but he's going to have to pull back now because Midas has been putting a lot of pressure on Leta's front door, and Leta is going to pull back his Wraiths to help try to defend that. Plus, those first two Goliaths are out. Leta coming in here now, and is going to be able to land his natural expansion, so it's a bit later than Midas's. Once again, apologize about the color mix-up earlier. Once again, this is Leta as the yellow Terran landing his command center in the southeast position. Midas is the purple Terran in the southwest. I'm going to say it. Just so
it's
that
kind of this has been kind of disappointing for Leta. You know, his entry into Midas's base didn't really pay off. There's been no really spider mine drops, and Midas has been able to put pressure back on Leta almost immediately, and you know, Midas even has his expansion out first. So interesting counterbalance there.
Yeah, it's definitely not the explosive play that we've seen from Leta in his past few TVTs on this, and like for last week, he was able to do so much damage with his first Wraith harassment that he basically won the game with just that. In other games, we've seen him with Wraith harassment or Vulture harassment doing a lot of damage, sometimes even just going for an earlier expansion and defending well. I'm thinking of the game against Piano a couple weeks ago, where Piano went for this like all-in attack while Leta was building his natural expansion, this all-in attack with a bunch of SCVs and Vultures. It was really weird. But usually the game much more in flux at this position. Midas is building a counter starport to get his own Wraiths out, or maybe just some dropships. Actually, yeah, there it is. It's a Wraith, and it is coming to chase away Leta's Wraith, so micro battle between the Wraiths, and they're pretty even right now. Leta's, actually having to retreat right now. I think he did not quite get the better of that, and he's forced to put an armory down of his own, which is not going to be bad because he needs to keep up with upgrades anyways. But this match really evening out. I think Midas might still have a little bit of a lead just because he was able to get his natural expansion down a little bit earlier, and his tech buildings were a little bit earlier. But I think Leta right now, once he gets this fourth factory up and running, might have a little bit of a production advantage.
Yeah, Leta's definitely more aggressive right now, aggressively minded in all of his actions, which I like. The problem is they're just not executing. You know, his Wraiths have fizzled out. Looks like this attack is fizzling out.
He's getting a few SCV kills. He's moved all the way into the mineral line. He's getting a couple in. Midas is having some trouble getting his units back there.
Yeah,
his own
units
SCVs
are bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. But the Wraiths have been pretty pathetic. I don't know that I've seen a Wraith more than one kill.
Right. The Wraiths definitely didn't accomplish what we're used to seeing them accomplish from Leta. But it's not something that I'd be particularly worried about, because it was just the one starport. You know, it's not like he went 2-port Wraiths and didn't get anything done. That starport's going to be useful for dropships later on. So not putting in too much of a resource commitment to it, not getting much out of it, but, you know, he's being a pest.
Yeah, and he's certainly still strong in this game. It's not like, he didn't commit a whole lot to it. He's still going to the basics with his vultures and tanks, and the pressure is still on Midas. So
ooh, and this run by is going to be able to get all the way in.
Very nice.
With those first tanks being able to see those vultures and stop them a little bit, I thought they were going to completely stop these vultures from getting into the main base. But those 3 vultures getting all the way in, getting another scout on Midas's main base. Not that it's that necessary now that comm stats are in play, but and also being able to kill a couple of SCVs building a couple of buildings. So